Welcome to Warblog. Today I'm going to play a random game. This is sort of I end up just doing one a week. I'm doing one video a week at the moment, and that's sort of like, because I have to some extent keep my channel going. I don't think it's sort of bad in the sense that it's not as though I'm losing interest. It's just I'm so busy. It's just like, I thought it was yesterday that I did the other one, but it was an entire week ago. I don't know where the time goes. I have added all these, which, I mean, not complete, but so there's lots going on, and I've done something, but there's no way I can't even get my head around finishing some of these. And I sniffled on purpose there, but I have got a cold, and I'm sort of in the laid down position with a hood on and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I would say I'm not well, but it's not really the truth. I mean, I'm not well. I got a bit of a cold, but all these things, they add up. And so, but I haven't looked at this. I'm not sure whether this is still here. No, maybe it's here. No, maybe it's here. Yeah, this. Now, I watched most of this video. It's incredible. It's on the South Front site, Operation Solid Structure. Now, this is what I want to do, but I haven't really got a map or anything. I've got this, but I can't make head nor tail of this. I mean, I guess that this green area is what they had, and this is what they've just taken. So maybe this is, maybe that's all it is, but it's not clear. Maybe they've just taken all of this, but what about down here? And I don't know. I mean, maybe it is, but I want to do, well, clearly I want to do, at some point I want to do this one, which is Operation Solid Structure. And I want to dwell on this, because that's not the point of this video. But if you sort of look at this, it's over an hour long. I watched it this morning as I was in the getting up position, which was only a few hours ago. So most of my time asleep, for some reason. But if you can always marvel at the geography. Look at this winding road. These are tourist destinations. There's like, it's phenomenal footage. And you get a real sense of sort of what's sort of happening. These winding roads, and desperately trying to drive off down them. And look at these, they're scaling the side of this mountain, with these limestone folds. Look at all this. It's like the Grand Canyon. Little camps. You could probably pay a lot of money on a holiday in this area. Go trekking through these wilderness places. I just sort of think, wow, I don't want to watch too much of this, because this is not what this is about. But there's one little bit. Well, there's a bit there with some fire. Obviously, a few things on fire. But it sort of gets a little bit further on, and things on fire. Artillery pieces. See a lot of that building. chanting. Who's these other beaten up tank? What I'm trying to do is find the flat desert, because they sort of get some of this desert, and you sort of think, well, hang on, that's so different to this terrain. Pylons that probably don't go anywhere. It looks like they still do. I wonder if they work. Probably not. Obviously, they're expensive new vehicles. Dejected looking prisoners. There, look. It's just. I don't know. It could be Arizona, couldn't it? Foreign aid label. This is interesting. This bit right here is really interesting. I don't know what that says. But if you look at this, it's a map. And obviously, I find it fascinating that they've got this big room where, look, you could almost sort of like, look at the little guy, sort of soldier there. The little blue things, little red things. Little buildings. You know, I mean, where, astounding. And this is an hour-long video, and there's this wall. Look, is that Trump's wall? There's little medieval towers. The business end of an AK-47. There's a bit where they're going through flat desert, because obviously you can sort of see, well, how maybe this is quite it's sort of conducive to guerrilla warfare, because both sides have to go through these mountains or get stuck on these roads. You know, so you can quite easily make good with the sort of the rough and rugged terrain. And what I'm trying to find is this one bit in here where it's suddenly all really smooth and flat. And it's probably not worth finding. Anyway, I'm not going to do any more of this because I don't want to get copyright or anything. Because this is not what my video is about. I just thought I would just chit chat about that. So anyway, the thing is, I'm going to play a random game. And I don't know how to do this randomly, but I think maybe this, maybe this is okay. Oh. Yeah, maybe. I'd play that one, but my eyes would hurt, I think. This is really popular. Operation Eland is really popular. The YouTube video for it is, I think, is, you know, it's nearly got 1,000 views in like 5 years, which is pretty good going. So inclined to play that. Maybe I should try another one. Maybe this one. This one hasn't even been completed yet. This is another guilty one, but I started to put on some of the North Koreans, but that was it. I should really do something about that. I might play this one actually. Yeah, I don't think I've played this one before. War is boring. So the link is no longer there. Ship vanished near the Bermuda Triangle 94 years ago. I don't know why I looked at that. Anyway, I'm going to play this game. So what's going on? Simple setup to represent June 2016 assault by GNA forces against Sirte. So this is the government and national accord. These are the people that are not doing very well at the moment in Libya, fighting against, not sure if Qasr Abu Hadi or the airport what ISIL held. So it's ISIL. So it's the government and national accord against the Islamic State. So they've got to take this, and I think the thing that I remember about this is that you sort of got to punch through all these, and it's quite irrelevant, you know, because you're going to get through them. But so we've got some air power. So we've got 3 motorized over there, a big stack there. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 units. That's 3 times over the legal limit. So that's our big battle group there, with 1 lot of artillery. So if we try to sort of rationalise that in some way, so we've got a 113 infantry unit, so he's not much use, and a 116 motorised unit. He's more useful for his speed. So what would we want to do? Basically, we want to get up there, but you know, there's not really any necessity to do it quickly. One thing to bear in mind that's quite interesting is this is probably long before I had irregulars, because they're not irregulars. And another thing to bear in mind, when I did this, there wouldn't have been the retreat rules. I'm just going to have a snivel and pause. Yeah, okay. Basically, this was before the retreat rules, so it doesn't make a lot of difference. But when I did this, if I got a DR, a DE, that would have been eliminated, but probably won't now. I think the thing to do is to sort of, there's no real reason to get there quickly. It's not as though rushing up this road, which is my inclination, knock that out and then rush up there is gonna make a lot of difference. We're gonna get there, you know. I think taking the airport out is just sort of an obvious thing. So we're gonna basically, getting there is not going to be a big challenge. It's more like a chore. You know, we're going to get these units. We're going to get them there. Obviously, we're going up the road. So here, we're probably better off going this way, taking those units out and those units as we go. With this battle group, obviously, we're going to want to go this way to take that out, up this way, with this one going this way, and possibly whatever's left going up that way. Now, with the air power, we might want to consider advanced attacks on these units. There's 2 air defense, 1 little guy, 1 little guy. Now, ironically, there's only 1 stack that's sort of worth going for. I'm more inclined to preserve the air power, or to maybe try and use it on something else. I mean, that is a relatively big, but that's a nice big stack, and that's a nice big stack. So we can sort of go for these with the air power. You can tell it's a long time ago because it's a battalion and it's only got 2 strength. I should really change all the unit types. So I've got air power. Now the odds against this, what could we possibly do? Well, with the artillery, that happens from time to time and I just don't know why. It seems to be choosing that one. Well, I don't want to move it any further. So what do we want to move in this direction? Everything that's mobile, possibly. So how much? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mobile units. So we can send everything mobile up this way. Send these units in this direction. Let's send some air power against this. No effect. 1 to 8. Let's use our artillery against this. Well, actually, move the artillery further forward. Doesn't matter if we get caught up in this engagement. I still haven't fixed that thing. No effect. Yeah, a town or something. Oh, look at that, they've got these silly little... He's in light urban. I wonder what the odds will be. Let's just do it. I think I'm going to be a little more careful about this. I'm going to put some tanks in there as well. Four to 1 on a DE. Okay, we might get another attack on this. And if we do, we'll probably get 7 to 1 easily. Another DE. But that's everyone used up now. Look at them, they're all used up. So he's retreated with a 5.8. Okay, now these guys. Okay. Just get them. this stack. Oop. The armour is just a bit too slow. Have another snivel. And these units. There's only 3 of them, so it's not big stuff really. Okay, let's push it all there, because it gives us quite a good reach. That last thing he's going to want to do is move out of there, so that's that. So Issel clearly don't have any air power, and there's nothing they can do really. They don't even have any artillery. Could probably do with reviewing this and giving them some sort of rockets or something, some irregulars. Here, see, really what they want to be doing is running away. They don't even have any engineers. He's going to take the brunt of this huge battle. That's that. Okay. Well, obviously we're going to get good odds against him soon. Well, the air power is a little more effective against this unit on this occasion. Or we could advance our artillery in such a way that they can lend support here. I think we should be able to do this. D. DR. We eliminated him, which was nice. Okay, so following up this road, I think I'm going to leave it at this. It's losing concentration. I mean, obviously I can just pile up this road, but I'm just sort of trying to think of what is the overall strategy from this point. I mean, obviously the thing is, it's just a chore. It's also a chore, but taking these out, and this is, to be quite honest, I think is, as far as these games go, in the sense that you can quite often predict, and there's not much of a challenge as to what's happening. Obviously, there's other ways of doing things, but I think in this instance, to play it through. I mean, not that I'm not inclined to play it through, but I'm not really in the frame of mind for doing that at the moment. In the sort of sense that there's no challenge. I don't want to say there's no. That's not the reason. There's no challenge. I'm not going to do it because there's no challenge. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think basically what I'm saying is, it's just moving the counters along. I mean, obviously we're going to go for this one, and then we're going to sort of break up and take this one and this one, and maybe when we get here there'll be a little more thinking involved. But that level of thinking is sort of, well, what is going to be involved, because they don't have any artillery. So there's not as though we could bring the artillery out here and position it here in preparation for moving here, or I think I could probably do with revising this one. I'm not going to, not at this moment, but so essentially what we're going to do is end up with these units all moving up here. Now, in theory, you can sort of say, well, okay, well, fair enough. We're going to retreat these instead of just leaving them there to get basically destroyed. They could sort of pull them back, but even that, I mean, it's just a case of attacking one thing or another, because there's no, they don't even have the ability to counterattack. The only thing I think that that might be of some relevance or interest in sort of considering this situation is, can they do it without taking the sort of losses that could build up to them not having the resources to actually engage in a full attack? For example, they're all dug in, but they're not fortified hexes. None of those look to be fortified, so they're all dug in, but they're all city. So it could be that in some situations, if I put some irregulars in here, what you find is that the attack is an exchange, and they can only suffer so many exchanges at a time without a lot of resting and things like that. So I think there's a lot of scope in it, but I don't really have the inclination at this moment to sort of plod through the sort of the step-by-step advance against all these little units, and then the sort of the grudgy picking of the weakest locations here. I think along with a lot of games, you can pretty much sort of figure out what's going to happen quite from an early stage. It's a shame really, because I was hoping to get sort of like something that would bite a bit in sort of bite my interest. But combined with my heavy head and fatigue, I'm not really sure when I do much more. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll speak to you later. Cheerio. Maybe next week at this rate. But yeah. Cheerio. Bye.